Hey.
All right.
Okay, we're live now. We're live.
And we are
I don't see you.
live.
Now
We
I
are
see you,
going.
bro. You there?
I see
Houston,
you.
we all go.
Perfect.
So, I wanted to say the first thing. Happy New Year to you guys. I know last time I didn't even say that. So, Happy New Year to both of you guys, man. Hope you guys had a good one.
Salute, brother. Happy New
Happy New
Year. Happy New
Year's.
Year, man.
I know it's the
Salute, man.
last day
Happy
of
New Year's. Yes.
January about, and I'm kind of late, but just wanted to let y'all know.
It's better late than never
Yeah, you're a little
sometimes, bro.
late.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
So what's going on, guys?
Not
Yeah,
much,
man.
man.
Just been getting it in, grinding as we do, just
Yeah.
trying to start the new year as we finish last year. That's right, yeah.
I like that. I
That's
like
right.
that. That's gonna be one of our quotes up on the wall when
Put
we
it
get a
on a
legit
shirt.
space.
Put
you
it
know?
on a shirt.
So like let's talk about New Year's resolutions. I know like a lot of the time I say like a New Year's resolution and I fail because I I don't keep my word like when it comes to exercise and stuff like that. But this year, for me, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna say probably just appreciate the smaller things in life. You know, the
Amen.
little things in life, and I
Amen.
think that
Yeah.
makes a bigger impact.
That's a good one.
You know.
Definitely.
How can I top that? I don't think we can top that.
Um, wow. That is a good one. I think for me is to find a smoother balance with everything. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I drift certain areas where I need to focus on other areas, and I need to balance that
Oh, for
in
sure.
my life. But
Yeah, I can.
it's a work in progress every day, you know.
For
I
sure.
don't I don't think there's ever a time when you can actually say you got that whole balance thing correct because life always has a way of throwing a curveball at you, right? And then you got to kind
Yeah.
of
Definitely.
yeah,
For sure.
for myself it's just I think as we said at the start, it's just basically to we'll start this new year in the same way that I left last year. Like I
Yeah.
can one of my mottos is always well, be ready so you don't have to get ready.
I like that. That's good. So,
So
so you're saying like start with the same energy you came or you started with.
the
I
same
got you.
energy you left out with is what you come in with.
That's cool,
Hopefully
man.
your energy is gonna be better than what it was last year. Because if you ain't got no
Yeah.
energy and you start the new year, then you ain't gonna start with no energy, and then that's just a lose. That,
Yeah.
that's a lose lose, right? So you can't have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I agree with that because a lot of people, like I guess Kalo mentioned, my brother mentioned, he said a lot of people don't go through with their New Year's resolutions. Like
Yeah.
you see a lot of people, I'm gonna start the gym. They go ham.
Oh, yeah.
When February kicks off, it's a wrap. That's it. They're not back anymore. So I think it's it's a mentality thing. You gotta just be consistent, and motivate
hmm
yourself because no one's gonna motivate you.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think there's also a slight pinch of realism that you have to have with yourself to know what you can handle and what is
yes,
what you can maintain. Not because everybody else out there seems to be going hard that you have to go as hard as them. That might not be your speed. You have to
Yeah.
kind of find out
yeah,
what your speed is and maintain that.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time,
definitely.
a lot of people have like bad habits, you know,
Yeah.
and even just showing up to the gym is a good start. So that's why I said like
Yeah,
appreciate the little things, right? That you're kind of gaining towards, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
yeah,
For real.
Like so for me, since like I don't really do a lot of exercise like my brother does. Like for me, it's just showing up, right?
every
Showing
day.
up and and putting
You
that
be
work in, you know.
you be in the gym. You be in the gym, bro. Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in there. I've been going hard this year.
Yeah, man.
Last year I was more like a 3 days a week kind of guy.
Yeah,
This year it's kind of been ramping up to like at least 5 days a week with maybe one day off.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like as long as you could do at least an hour a day, 45 minutes to an hour,
Yeah,
and actually work out should be good.
yeah.
It's hard sometimes to get in there though and
Oh
motivate
man,
yourself.
it's hard. In my gym, it's hard
Man,
to
like
even get in the gym, let
yeah.
alone you
it's
understand
tough,
get
bro.
on the equipment.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's where
man.
I'm at
It's
right now.
you got to start small though, you got to start
Yeah,
somewhere.
That's right.
Push-ups,
That's right.
sit-ups,
Yeah,
body weight,
yeah.
and then
That's
push it
real.
up.
That's real. Push it up. Push up. Push up.
yeah,
And then find your limit, reach your limit, and keep pushing towards that limit. Sometimes I feel like people try to over exceed that, and then that's when injuries happen as well. You know?
Oh, Hercules, the young Hercules, I call them. I see them in the gym all the time.
Yeah,
They ain't got no business lifting that weight, but they believe if they
mm,
can lift it, it makes them stronger. Nah, I just put you back out.
No.
just
Yeah,
you sit on your ass
exactly.
for a couple extra days when you shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. You see a lot of that.
So
Gotta find the balance,
that's right.
I wanted to talk about that hat you have on. How can we, or the fans, or anybody that wants to buy the merch, how can they get the merch?
Just hit me up in the DM, man. Just reach
Okay.
out. Just drop me an email. Reach out to me. 81bornandbred.com. Drop on my website. Hit me on my IG account. Same 81bornandbred. Well, Twitter, IG, Facebook,
Yeah.
Gmail.
Yeah,
Gmail is
definitely.
all the same. There's no change or no different handle. It's all. I've been lucky in that sense to be able to keep the same name across all the different all the different
Yeah.
platforms in that sense. So just any one of them, man. Just
Yes.
hit
Yes.
me up, man.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I like the hat. I definitely want one for sure, man. I
I've
like
got.
the 80.
I've,
Even I'm not 81, but I like
no,
the hat.
yeah.
I like the style.
I got.
Yeah, I was telling him a while back too. I liked them too when he first came out with them.
Yeah,
You know,
I've been
Yeah.
getting
they're
the
fire.
request for the dad hats. The dad
Nice.
hats.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of dads out there.
So I wanted to talk
But yeah,
about your project that just came out over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
tell us a little bit about that, man. What's that project about?
Believe Volume 3 instrumental beat tape. Basically, it's it's been like obviously it's Volume 3, so it's one of three. I've got one and two already out prior to that
Nice.
streaming on all
definitely
platforms.
check those out, guys. They are fire, man.
Yeah.
You know,
And
for sure.
I still gotta catch up.
I just wanted to be able to express my musical taste without being caught up in the mix of making a one style kind of beat per se. Because
Yeah.
obviously, when you're out here as a producer, you want to sell, you want to get sales, you want to get people interested in you, and a lot of the time you have to kind of follow the trend of what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, but I found with the beat tapes, it allowed me just to be free.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
just explored. I just like to make an album as if it was an album, but just missing an artist in that
yeah,
sense.
Hmm.
Um, and I tried to make it a cohesive piece of work so it kind of makes sense and takes you on a sonic ride. Sorry, takes
Yeah.
you on a little bit of a sonic
definitely.
journey. You understand? So
It's an experience, like a roller coaster. You
right,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that's what I miss in this music in the music nowadays is there's not everybody's albums all one level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was listening to a couple albums over the weekend, and I went back to like to Pimp a Butterfly, and I went back to, some old school
classic,
Locks, and I
good
went
one.
back to some old, some I went to back Nipsey's The Victory Lap, and just
Mm.
albums like
Rest in peace.
Rick Ross's Mastermind album, and I just like, yeah, where's the peaks and the troughs and the wave and the vibe that it gives you, and
Yeah.
everybody seems to be hitting with the same tempo, same 808 nowadays, and the same sound sonically. I
Yeah,
believe that is there's
Hmm.
no, it's all mono to me. It all sounds monotone to me. So
Yeah.
it lets me
yeah,
free up my mind. I go crazy like an artist with a paintbrush on a white canvas, and I just go nuts. I just throw it all out there.
yeah. Definitely good to express yourself in that sense as a music producer,
Hmm.
because in a sense, like you said, you are an artist,
Yeah,
right? You
Yeah.
are painting a canvas to a listener that has the ears to listen to what you're trying to
exactly,
push out, right?
exactly,
They
exactly.
want to listen to it. They're looking for it. And like we had a conversation last time, a lot of people, the first thing that intrigues them to a song is the beat, the instrumental.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have to do our job as music producers to make sure that our voice is heard
Hmm.
throughout the music that we put out as well.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And I've
Collaboration.
noticed with that, even with that being said, a lot of beats nowadays they don't even really have an intro. They don't even really.
Yeah.
It just bam drops. I think I saw an interview the other day with the baby was saying like he just starts rapping off the rip. You don't even let the track drop. As soon as the beat comes in, one
Yeah.
bar one, bam, he's rapping, because he knows you've got like 5 seconds as an artist of any, I suppose, in the music genre. You've got 5 seconds, 5 to 15 seconds to capture the audience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they're gone. And then not a lot of people really listen to your music longer than 30 seconds to a minute if they're not really digging it. Anyway, you'd be
Yeah.
lucky if you get
Yes.
past 30 seconds, and then that's
Yeah.
when you've lost retention. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard the attention span on TikTok is 7 seconds.
yeah, I
So
wouldn't
if
be
something's not
surprised.
hot in 7 seconds, that's it.
I wouldn't
That's
be
crazy.
surprised. I don't know. It's like it's like the commercials you guys got. The commercials they do in the States. I remember I was on holiday in St. Lucia in last year July, and I was sitting there, and in between the Steve Harvey show, I think it was Family Fortunes with Steve Harvey was the host. and they had this advert for medical, for some medicine or whatever, medical whatever, and the speed that this guy was saying the disclaimer at, I say this guy should be a lyricist because it's like
Yeah.
this thing may cause side effects. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, like you couldn't even get that on the
You know,
back of
and
a
then
bowl. But that's the
yeah, and then
retention.
people wonder
Yeah,
the retention, right? People wonder why so many kids nowadays have ADHD.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're pushing so many things in their face, content,
they don't have.
and not only the content that you're pushing, it's the subliminal content behind it
Yeah.
that kids don't see, but they really see through the subconscious.
Right.
It's crazy, man. You got to look into that, man.
So
Yeah,
that
for sure.
that lends more towards what the reasons why I make my album is so that people can listen and
Yeah.
take their time
Yeah.
to listen. And I've been getting a lot of feedback from people that don't even like hip hop per se, like the older generation to me that it's all over that. What are they talking about? Who's young? Who's Little Yachty? Why is this guy called Little Uzi? Does he have a gun? It's not making no sense. But they listen to the beats I make and they're like, I just put your album on and I just
Yeah.
cleaned up my house and I washed
Yeah.
my car and I found it just it wasn't too much in the front to be distracting them or drawing them, but it was just nice accompanied music to what they're doing. And then at the same time, I've got artists that hear it and they're thinking, yeah, I could get it. I could get it. I like the way that sounds different is. And I'm getting producers asking me now, they want to hook up and do beat tapes now because there's a,
Nice.
I think
That's
I'm
dope.
bringing something different to what is already out there. And it's taken a long time. I've had to wait for the wheel in that sense to turn. But it's finally turning in my favor now. So
Yeah, that's good, man. Blessings to you on that part. I feel like also to input with what you were saying. You're welcome, man. What he was saying, I feel like a beat producer doesn't and shouldn't only just think about beats. They should think about a composition, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, something that they could just play, and you could just listen to 10 tracks straight and be like, "Wow, I just listened to 10 tracks. That's pretty crazy."
Yeah, like
something
yeah.
that
I remember this
transcends
this
the
one
listener.
album I used to listen to, and I know Amer's familiar with it, or Fela. You remember A-Rap Music came out with one?
Yeah. I know.
Like,
Yeah,
I love this.
yeah.
I forget what it was called, but it was like it was kind of like EDM mixed with hip hop, and the way that he would do his drums, I was like, man, this is really like relaxing. Like I just sit back and listen to it on a long car ride, and just like, no lyrics. Like that's how I grew up. I know we talked about it on the last podcast, where it was like
Definitely.
we love the beats,
Yeah.
more than the lyrics, and I feel like Wayne said, people are probably gravitating towards that more now.
I think because there's like Abs was saying, because there's so much being forced visually, sonically, lyrically, that I think somewhere along the line now people are starting just to like, okay, I want a little. I still like what's going on, but sometimes I don't want to hear all of that. You understand? And that's cool. You're allowed to switch on and switch off if that's
For
what
sure,
you're
man.
paying for, the streaming service, or what I'm saying. So you're
Right.
entitled to listen to what you want to listen to, but there's also there's a different demographic coming. I'm finding even my daughter, who's 18 years old, she put me on. She made a playlist on Spotify, and she put me onto a load of music, and I'm like, wow. And one of the producers that I learned, well, I kind of found more like digging in their crates in that sense, was a guy called is it Knowledge? He worked with
Knowledge.
he worked with Anderson Paak on an album, and basically what he does, he remixes works that are already out, but he's also got his own catalog where he just makes beats, and it's just like just beats, and it maybe have a little vocal sample in there somewhere, but the vocal is not the reason you listen to it. It's the vibe, it's the groove, and that really gave me the vibe to be like, oh snap, there's a market for this. Like this is something. I'm not crazy. Like
For sure.
People were telling me, are you sure? And I'm like, but it feels right. But then I'm hearing guys have success and have making a career out of it, and I'm thinking, okay, this is like modern day jazz then. Basically. It's like a modern day jazz thing. I was like, okay, I can do this then. This is real.
And I feel like that's the difference between, like we spoke prior to this conversation. That's the difference between a great music producer and a good music producer. Yeah, you can have a producer that just makes beats just to, because it's high in demand, whatever.
Yeah.
Just making beats. But if you're not putting the thought and the effort behind the composition, like you said, like a feeling, right?
Right.
then really you're just doing it for supply and demand to make a buck. You know what I mean? And sometimes, yeah, if producers need that and artists need that, that's fine. But think more about the music. You know what you're pushing out. I feel
yeah,
like that
and
that's what's gonna last. You know.
I think that's down to how what your business model is, because what's
Yes.
the guy that produces most of Megan Thee Stallion's songs? I can see him in my mind. Oh, I can't remember, but and then there's like guys like Murder Beats. They make
Yeah.
beats. They make a certain genre of beats because they've been successful making that, and they don't really
Yes.
deviate. Even I think the latest song that Shen has got out right now, and it's got Megan Thee Stallion featured in it. It's been going all over the internet, and it's got crazy explicit like kind of video that goes with it, highly sexualized and all the rest. But if you listen to the type of beat it is, it's very it's just trending. It's what's trending. So again, it
Yeah.
comes down to what your business model is and what you want to achieve as a producer, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're doing a great job
Definitely.
with these beat tapes or
Thank you,
beat
bro.
albums.
Thank
They're
you,
great, man. I have to catch up. I was listening to I think it was volume 1, and then you have 2 more, so
Yeah, so
that's gonna be a
you
treat
see
for me, you know.
Yeah,
you
they're
see
fire, man.
the
They're fire.
evolution of what, and the reason
Yeah.
I call it believe is because no one believed that you can make a beat tape in such a fashion where it would be not the same all the way through. Like they would did automatically someone should making a beat. It's got to be 10 hard bangers all the way.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard. It doesn't have to be. Like I'm saying. So that's why I call it believe, and then I stuck the photos of me as a youngin, and then I'm a little bit
Right, and that's
older,
another
and then a little
thing.
bit
That's
older.
another thing I love about it. Yeah, I love that it's very homegrown. It
Yeah,
has a home feeling, like
Yeah.
hits home to
yeah,
you, right?
right.
So you're sharing something that has to do with yourself, how you express yourself to other people, and other
Right,
people are appreciating
right.
it. You know what I mean?
And
So believe in yourself, right?
that's
Believe.
that's
You
the
know?
message. That's the message. I'm
Yeah,
glad I got it across, man. I'm glad I got it across.
yeah, for sure, man. You have to have that, you
Hmm.
know.
So I want to put
But
you
they're
on the.
dope, man.
Go ahead, bro. What you gonna say?
Nah, I was just gonna say they're dope, man. You gotta
Oh
listen
yeah,
to them, bro.
no, for
They're
sure
fire.
they're dope. If people are listening to this, listen to volumes 1 through 3. We'll put it on the description and on the conversation
Yes.
when we're
Thank you, man.
talking about it for sure.
And
So I wanted to put you on the spot.
go
What's your
for it.
favorite beat
Bah,
out
bah,
of
bah,
all these
bah.
beat tapes or the volumes that you've been doing? You know, you got to
I
pick
feel
one, man. You
I
got to
feel
pick
like if
one.
I say the wrong one, they're all gonna get jealous. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Let's see. Let's see.
So many, huh?
Should we play this Jeopardy song?
there's two that stick out, and one is called Rebirth, and that's on number.
Rebirth.
I think that's on number one. I want to say number one.
Okay.
I think it's on number two. Yeah, this is how much I be making nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the other one's called Empire. Yeah, Empire's on number three. It's the
Okay.
first track on number three, and those
Okay.
two to me, when every time I hear them, I'm just like, yeah, if I, like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're bad. I don't care what anyone thinks. I love them. Like,
That's
You know
awesome.
what's crazy? To just input in what you were saying. Sometimes isn't it kind of amazing, right? Like sometimes you listen to a production or a beat you made, and you sometimes can't even believe you did that
man,
yourself. Like you're
Yeah.
just like, man. And then you hear little things in the back that you put in purposely, but they still catch you. Like,
there's a
oh,
track on
okay,
number one called The
okay.
Score. At the end of number one called The Score. It's like Blade Runner. To me, I thought of when I think I made that on the plane, and I finished watching Blade Runner, and I came up with
Nice.
the kind of everything's kind of visual with me. So
Yeah.
I see it before I kind of hear it, and then once I'm making it, I know. I used to be a street dancer back in the day as well, so I used to go on tours and stuff like that. So it also connects with me in that way because I used to move
Yeah.
and do all the dance moves, and I was the kid watching Michael Jackson on videotape trying to copy his whole routine in Tokyo, and I was like, hey. So music hits me like here,
Yeah.
here, in my back, in my foot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not just that to me. If I don't move, then there's something wrong. So yeah, it definitely resonates with me on a whole different more and a visual aspect as well. So when you hear like Empire, and you hear like tracks like Out of Here, and you hear Rebirth, and you hear The Score, it's like, yeah, that's like
Yeah.
motion
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I need to get into the media. I need to get into media. I need to
Yeah,
get
for
into
sure.
media. That's the next kind of
Yeah.
place to go into, because I've had a lot of people say like, man, you need to be sending these to sync placements now,
Yeah.
trying to get these on
Yeah.
TV
For sure.
behind like adverts, and you know the game's changed now, so it's not all about just finding an artist and making beats for an artist. There's so many different
Right.
avenues. If that's what you like to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that's what you like
Right.
to do.
I mean, but hey, having a placement would be sweet, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice, you know?
I had a little taste of
So,
a placement late last year, like in like late early fourth quarter, where somebody actually sent me an EDM track, and they wanted me to put it to a commercial that was going out over Christmas because it was like a hair product, and that was my first taste of doing that kind of work where I wasn't so much the creator, but I had to make it make sense and make it complement the visuals. I loved it. I
yes.
didn't realize that I was any good at it until I did it. I just said, yeah, I can do it. I didn't have no clue what I was getting myself into. And I think sometimes that's where the little bit of belief comes into it as well. You just
Yeah.
have to jump. Yeah, so you just got to jump, and you say you're going to fly or you're going to fall. Well, nobody wants to really fall, right? So,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it, man. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to definitely try and get into that some more.
But talking
Yeah, and
about
you have
like,
to always
go ahead, bro. My
seize
bad.
those opportunities, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like you
That's
like you
right.
did. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing, but just do it because you're gonna figure it out along the way.
Be
If
ready.
you really want it, you're gonna do it.
Be
you know?
ready so you don't have to get
Be
ready.
ready,
That's
yeah.
it. That's all
Yeah,
I
I mean,
need.
Yeah, that's it.
along with success, failure does happen though. That's part of
Yes.
learning,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
in the
that.
process.
I've
You can't
lost
be
so
scared
many
of that, you
times.
know.
I've lost
Yeah,
so many times. I've had guys take my
Yeah.
beats. I've had beats go
man.
missing. I've had people make me promises. I've had my people that I thought were my closest people let me down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
I've
Yep.
had so many L's. Um,
Yeah. It happens, man.
but I just got the knowledge from the L's and turned them into lessons. So that next time that kind of situation comes around and that person thinks they're the first person that's gonna be coming at me like that, well, I've been down that road already, and I'm still here.
yeah.
So
Right.
And I also
That's
think
good.
like yeah, like you're saying, you learn from your mistakes, right? But it makes you a stronger person. It makes you, you know, like
yeah,
you get more knowledge, all that stuff, you know. And I think that's why we get along so well, you know, us in this conversation, because
Yeah.
it's like we can relate to all of that, you know.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I feel like along with those failures, right? Along with those failures and those people that fail you along the way, you also learn to appreciate yourself, right? You
Yeah,
learn to appreciate yourself, self-worth, self-love, you know, who you can and can't trust and let in to your small circle
yeah,
and keep it moving. If
and
people ain't seeing your vision and moving like you're moving, then there's no point to even associate, you know? It's just high
yeah.
and by type thing.
that's it.
That's the mentality you have to have.
That's it.
I mean,
You know?
that's why the successes feel so good, because there's been so many losses, right? So when you get a successful moment, you're like, man, this is the one. I'm gonna celebrate this one, you know.
Yes, sir.
I also wanted to talk about the typical album length, right, that you would do for these beat tapes. So what is it, like 12 tracks or 10 to 12?
That was a tough decision to make
Yeah,
because I got to a
Yes, it
point.
always is.
Yeah, because you want to put more.
yeah, yeah,
You always want to put more, but you can't because the retention
Yeah.
of nowadays is people don't have
yes,
that retention to sit there and listen to 15 tracks with nothing on them.
Yeah.
Or you can't put 5 because then you have to kind of whittle down to you almost got to put, then you kind of got to put your hardest 5 to make an impact to
yeah,
keep people on it.
Yeah.
And then by the time they like it, because it's only 5 tracks deep, I think that you're quickly forgotten. Like they've heard your 5 tracks, on to the next now. So I stuck with 8.
Yeah.
that's
thought
a
8.
good number.
I thought 8 was a nice
Feels
balance.
solid.
I haven't been
That's a
told
good
it,
number.
it wasn't, or it's not a good balance, or it is, but when I listen back to the albums, each of them have 8 tracks on them. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it allows me to do like 2 of one genre, 2 of another genre, 2 of, like, you understand? So I can
Yeah.
make the album cohesive rather than having to force it. And then it doesn't seem too long. I can give you 2 R&B, I can give you 2 like
yeah,
trap, I can give you 2 soft trap, as I call it, like pop trap. I can give you 2 of my stuff, like what I like to do. And that way I think everybody's kind of happy and it gives everybody a good insight into what I'm doing.
And
Right.
I also think like,
And go ahead.
I mean, 8 is a good number because I think the most we do, right, Abner, is like 10 right now.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
most we do now. So that's a really good
And
number.
it also comes from how we release, right?
Yeah.
Because we like to do a release a week, right?
Right.
So it
Typically,
gives
yeah.
it gives you time to not also release and have people tune to what you're doing, but also gives you time to start working on other projects. So it expands the release. Because when we first started, we used to just release 14 all at once,
Wow.
and we're like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
It's
And
over.
then
The
you're
first
playing
week is
catch up,
done.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of learn how to play in the field. So it's like, all right, release one every week. You might release 8 for 8 weeks, and then you give out 2 free that no one has ever heard. Hey,
Right,
check out
right,
these 2
right.
as well. Whatever.
So
You
with
know.
me having the 8,
So
and I know that's 8 right there, I could carry on after I've made my 8 and I've put them aside. I don't even know. Sometimes you don't even know what order you make them, and you just make the beats, and then you go
Yeah.
back to your stash, and you be like, okay, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one,
right, right.
and then you realize, oh god, maybe I made, I don't know, 15 and I took 8. So I've
Oh,
got
that's
like
good.
another 7 or something like that. Yeah, I'm not on top of my head with the maths right now. Yeah, but you got like another 7. So you could actually, yeah, save yourself a lot. You could take a break. You could take your
Yeah.
missus out, take her shopping, take the kids to the park. You could live it. You could live a little, right? You could go outside
Yeah.
and see the trees
Yeah.
again, see the hello world. I'm back. I want to go to the gym. I want to buy some trainers.
There's
Yeah,
there's the balance,
there's the
right?
Yeah,
balance.
exactly.
There's the balance.
That is
you
what
know?
I had to learn because with the first album, I did that. I literally made the first album and I was like, bam, have it all at once. And then I was like, oh
Yes.
man, I ain't got nothing now. Like, obviously, we're trying to manage our social interaction and engagement because
Yeah.
that's how we can make ourselves visible, because that's our branding tool. That's how we advertise ourselves. So
Right.
I had a radio show to help promote the first album. And then it was everything peaked. Well, everybody was watching me. And then I dropped the album, everyone went, bam. And it's went quiet. And I was like, oh, this ain't, I didn't think about this bit. Like, because now
Yeah.
people's retention is over the fact that I've dropped the album. Now they're like, now what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah,
what's
and
next?
that's the thing too. It also depends on the era, right? Where music is being released, because now we're in the era of singles and it's switching almost back to like albums, right? And
Yeah.
it's tough
Yeah.
because like once you drop it, right? People always want the next thing like right away. And if you're not
Well,
ready,
yeah.
that traction, you're gonna lose that traction. So that's something that we've
Well,
had
they
to
say-
kind of, follow through
Yeah,
on.
and they say that content nowadays, the retention of the content is more addicting than drugs, right?
Yeah.
You have people that just are addicted to that. And just for my sake, I felt like I was finding myself constantly trying to keep up with posts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I felt like
Crazy.
I felt back a little bit, right? Because I was like, hold on, I feel like I'm doing this too much. I need to put my attention on other things. I deleted every social media. The only one I have right now is IG,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was too overwhelming for me. I needed to step back,
And then
be a father, be a family man, be a husband, and then that comes with it, right? That goes with
and
it.
then
But
that
it's,
lends to
it's tough,
that
man.
lends to the whole point of like, what is your speed? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
What is your speed? Like, are you a guy that makes 10 beats a day, or are you a guy that makes 3 beats a day? Do you make 20 beats in a week, or do you make 3 beats in a week? There's no wrong or right answer, but then
Yeah.
what is your speed?
Right.
Everybody don't have the luxury. If you, like you said, Abs, if you're a father, you don't have the time to be
Yes.
locked in all day like a mushroom, sitting in
Nah,
a dark room, beating on your MP.
Nah.
You don't.
Nah, man.
I like this. I like your
Nah,
your
man.
analogies.
Yeah. So I told you
It's
I'm
true,
a
it's
visual
true.
guy. I told you. Yeah. So
It's true, man.
I know, I'm a father of 3, and I just don't have that time. You understand?
Yeah.
So, and then I got a 9 to 5 as well. So it's kind of being strategizing what you're trying to do. So
Yeah.
when I dropped the second and the third album, I made sure I had a stash so that when I
Yeah.
dropped it, I had something else to drop afterwards. And then with this third album, I was a bit more strategic when I said to myself, hold on a minute, people's retention is at all time. I don't want it high or low, whichever you want to say, high or whichever way you look at the graph.
Right.
Once I drop this
Right.
album within a week, no one's going to know I dropped the album.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be real. No
It's
one's going
tough.
to really know. It's hard. It's
tough.
the hardest pill to swallow because you're like, ooh.
They're gonna say, "What's next?"
Yeah. So
Yeah.
What else you got?
have to drop each song off the album
Yeah.
again to let people
Yeah.
know this is what happened, and you missed it.
Yeah.
But what I also realized, people don't like missing anything. They don't like not knowing what happened if they missed it. So
But they also don't like to engage with you as a producer in your content. It's
Woo!
so hard to get that one or two subscriptions or follows.
Bro.
Like, you don't like to miss anything, but you also don't like to
But you
support
don't
my
want to.
channel.
I had a Collins.
But it's
I
like,
called.
where you at? You know?
I went on IG the other day and I called. I took it out here like I was COVID. I was knocking down followers left, right, and I could tell you just by looking at the followers going through, I had like 800, 700 followers. And I'm not one of the people that I don't follow just because you followed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I stopped that quite a while ago because the algorithms change and I weren't trying to keep up with Instagram because they're not paying me to. So cool.
Yeah.
It's free in it, so I'm not getting caught up in it. So what I did is I just started going like, okay, and I could actually look at my list of followers and be like, nope, never heard from you, never heard from you, never heard from you, never heard from you.
Exactly.
Heard from you yesterday, never heard from you. Heard from you 2 days ago, never heard from you, never heard.
Right.
I'm down to like 200 and something followers, but then what does that mean?
Right.
Doesn't mean nothing
Right.
if none of them really support you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I think maybe
Because
maybe
even
after
even
this-
on my IG, right, I'm up to what 1,000 right now,
Yeah.
a little bit past 1,000. But like you said, it's like only maybe 100 of them
yeah.
might
10%.
or like support you, and you get maybe like 10 out of those 100 that like your stuff all the time. So it's
10%.
like, what's the point?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a
Doesn't really
it's a
matter.
digital billboard in people's pocket. So
People rather scroll through it like this
Mhm.
than to go, hey, awesome.
so you see when you're driving down the
You know?
freeway and you see that big billboard that says whatever is it 1900 whack-a-mole, whatever the guy's job is, yeah, whatever they put on the bottom in America, they always like spilling out the last bit of the phone number, yeah, and
Yeah.
and they say if you pay $1,000 a week, you can put your poster up there, and they base that on how many cars drive down that freeway, which is based on how valuable that spot is. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, to a degree, they are just that billboard, but they're in people's pockets on your phone. So
Yeah.
if you can take the emotion away, detach the emotion away from the followers and the likes and the views and all
Yeah.
that, and understand it's just a advertising platform, then you use it as such.
That's it.
Use it as
Yeah.
such.
Right.
Then it also depends how good your content is, right? So
Yeah.
if your product ain't good, then it's when they stick it on that billboard, no one's gonna look at it. No one's gonna buy it, even if they do look at it.
I think
So I
think
had
it has
to
to
get
do
my game up on that.
and of course I think it has to do with consistency and it has to do with the content. It all has to have equal value almost in a way
Oh,
for
yeah.
people to be like, oh, this is good. But also a lot of people don't support because they see how confident you are in taking out your content, and a lot of people do hate on that confidence because they don't have it themselves, you know.
Yeah.
So
That, you remind me of something actually. I put something on my story. Just who's ready for Believe Volume 3? Try to get the interaction going on my story. Yes or no? Yes or no?
yeah.
Some guy hit no. I've never
For
seen
what?
the guy before in my life. But he's right. He's right to have his own opinion.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself,
man.
what did it cost you? Like, why did you press no instead of yes? Like, because my head thinks like
Hating,
that.
bro.
I would press like if I'll press it. I'll help you out. I'll press yes. You understand? Because we
right.
all can win in that sense. So I went on the guy's page just to see what's really good. I thought, okay, he must be like up there, and he's looking at me like, "What you really doing?" No, no one ain't ready for you. And I looked on the guy's page. He ain't doing nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's
Hater.
my
The guy
point.
ain't doing nothing.
That's my point.
And I said,
And you get
wow.
and you get at least 80% of those. You know,
said,
80% of those are just like,
And then
whatever.
10 minutes after that, I had a bunch of people go, yes, 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 yes. And I thought, oh, God is good.
You're doing something right.
The
you know?
hate came, and then God said, hold it. No, 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 no. No, we ain't going to have that.
Right.
Yeah, and I just thought,
Exactly.
but this is that, you know. But then at the same time, these same people will probably want to collab at some point and try and get some shine off the hard work that you put in to bring yourself up to a level where people start paying you attention. And now
Right,
because
riding
they
the
can
train.
see people paying you attention, now they want to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
really what it comes down to, man.
yeah, it comes down to that. Like that's the type of person I am. I'll support and I show love, to people
Yeah.
who are up and coming. And if I like it, genuinely like it, I like it,
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
like people who like are very cocky when it comes to their stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm the best. I'm this and that. It's like okay, I mean, you're pretty good, but I beg to differ, and that's everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
like that I tend to stay away from. I support people who are
Yeah.
humbly trying to do what they love, and that's respect, from my part
Yeah.
anyway.
It's hard to find humble people though.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays everybody's on, oh me. It's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because
You could do that all day
everybody's
if you
got a
want,
mini
but-
television set that films their life story. Everybody's on the everybody's on the Truman Show in their pocket right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
Everybody's
exactly.
living their own version of the Truman Show. Like I've had artists that said they're interested in working. I love your stuff, the whole nine, the whole script. And then when I hit them back and I'm like, yeah, okay, I've sent you a little pack. And something told me don't give him the creme, give him the stuff under the creme. Yeah, that's the stuff just below, just to see. Oh, I'm gonna be really
Right.
busy in the next couple of weeks, but I'll be sure to get back to you when I've got time. Oh, that's fine. All right.
Yeah, all they really want is free beats,
And I know outside
That's
the
what they're looking
podcast,
for.
I said I was gonna buy the beat. I'm still gonna buy it from you. Don't worry, all right?
That's cool, bro.
Hope you're not- hope you're not talking about me.
You didn't have to put that on here. You didn't have to say that out loud. It's okay. It's okay.
No, I like this one beat. It's fire, so I'm gonna buy it. Don't worry. But no,
No,
I
that's cool.
I definitely get that though. Like people are all
Yeah.
talk sometimes, and
Yeah.
that kind of ruins the vibe, man. You don't wanna associate yourself with people like that,
Yeah,
You wanna
that's true.
associate yourself
Yeah.
with people who are real and like are down to do what you're doing and are humble and are kind of like creatively in the same mindset as you as well, And I
But
think all
sometimes
that-
I guess
all that matters.
sometimes you gotta count your blessings and think that they've shown you who they are for the sake of
Yeah.
some free beats.
right?
sure.
Because you give them this much, just a little
Give
bit,
them
like
that
you said,
bitch.
right?
Yeah.
Just to see, oh, are you gonna regurgitate what I gave you? Are you
Right.
gonna bring it back?
Right.
See you later. All right, thanks. Well, now next time, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
it.
it.
That's totally it. That's totally it.
I feel like it has to be an equal partnership when it comes to collab, right? Like, hey, I'm interested in your stuff. Hey, I'm interested in your stuff too. I feel like as you go through this journey, right, in life with everything, and,
Yeah.
and you gain the knowledge that you do through any projects or people you encounter, you get to kind of know who's who just by that little bit.
Yeah.
You don't need to have full conversation.
No,
just,
yeah.
Just the actions
Yeah,
speak louder
I
than
think
words.
you kind of whittled your script down to a few choice words that all you have to say really is, you say the normal stuff. Everyone's got their way of talking to, but you keep it professional because at the
Right.
same time you don't want the people on the other end to think that you're just trying to pull a fast one or.
Right.
But then from the response you get back is you can gauge it. You can gauge it. I've
for
had to
sure.
be a bit
Yeah.
more selectful about the people I work with. In my
for sure.
in my early days, I was wearing my John Lennon red glasses, and the world was a beautiful place. And I thought everybody had the same
Yeah.
passion and drive as me, and why wouldn't you? Because we could all make it together and kumbaya and sit around a campfire and play guitar. Truth of the matter is, a lot of people out here. That's naive. Call me naive, but that was how much I love my music.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I
you know what
know
I'm saying.
that. Yeah.
But-
we can relate.
But at the
with
same
that
time,
for sure,
I had to realize there's a lot of opportunists out here. There's a lot of people that
Yeah.
are just out here. I was working with a producer from Atlanta, talented guy as well, and I saw,
Yeah.
I had a vision of where I could see him going, and I wanted to help him get there, and maybe we could build something on the side, not taken away from so he can still in his own right. I'm not trying to take over your shit. You do your thing.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but when he saw what my vision was, and I think the fact maybe he saw what I saw in myself, and he kind of saw that as an opportunity. He wanted to sign me under him. When I sit back and think about it now, I thought to myself, yeah, he. If I did that, that would have been really stupid. We were supposed to set up
Yeah.
like an LLC together,
No.
and I was like, this.
You always want to be yourself, own yourself.
Own yourself,
right?
like, yeah.
Self-own, and then contribute to anybody else's project or vision as yourself.
And we did
Yeah.
not make we made 2 beats together, 2 collabs that are still on BeatStars now because I don't show it's music. Is when you create something, it's not. I don't hold it against the situation because it's still something
Right,
that
for
was
sure.
made
Right.
in a good space. But
Yeah.
we made 2 beats together. We didn't do anything else other than that, and all of a sudden we're talking about making an LLC and signing. And I was like, hold on a minute, we ain't got no
Yeah.
art. We ain't worked with no other artists. We ain't really tested to see if what we do is
Right.
that good. Maybe a couple
Yeah.
people like it, but we ain't really pushed it yet. Um,
Yeah.
and it fizzled out. Needless to say, it just I think my reluctancy to move in the way that he wanted to move, it made him show himself. And then I was like,
Yeah.
you know what,
Right.
I'm not here for all of this, and you're in Atlanta, and I'm in
Yeah.
England,
Right.
and we got problems. Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody's here for that.
No, for
I
sure.
mean, I could truly say I'm blessed. You know, God has blessed me with I guess a partner in life like my brother, right?
Yeah,
Because we've
definitely.
always had each other's back. We've always known how to catch the snakes in the grass
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
just kind of watch each other's back. Like, yo, watch out. You know,
yeah,
just don't be so cool with that dude. You know,
yeah.
he's like this or like that. Just watch him from afar. Okay, cool. Before you know it, shit hits the fan,
There you
and there
go.
you go.
There
Yeah,
you
we're
go.
we're
So
very
it's like,
observant when it comes to who
you
we
know,
meet and what business we do. A lot of people are just
right,
out to get one.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were we
right,
were very young when we started our record label. I think it was like 20,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we went through a similar situation, and we
right,
had to stand up for ourselves. And this is where
yeah,
QMP Records came from, really.
Okay, okay, okay.
So it
yeah,
was a similar situation. A lot of legal issues I don't want to talk about. Um,
I
yeah.
respect
but
that.
yeah,
That's
man,
cool.
you know. Outside the podcast, we could tell you more, but yeah,
Nah,
man,
that's cool. Yeah, man.
it was tough, you know. And we were young, but
Yeah.
a lot of people were trying to take advantage of us, and
Yeah. Yep.
you know, we just had
Because
to kind of
they're
stop
trying
it.
to take your passion for your weakness or your kindness for your
Exactly.
weakness, and that's happened
Yeah,
to me
and
as well. You understand?
it kind of sucks because right, like you have this, like you say, this kumbaya vision, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And it's like, oh, everything's good, everything's golden or whatever. But it's like sooner or later, people make promises
Who?
that they don't keep up with their ends of the
yeah,
promise. But
Who?
you do, because you're a man, you keep up with your stuff, right? But people don't, and then you're like, well, what's going on with that? It's not there. It's not there. Then hey, it's not working.
It's not working. Yeah,
And when you put your foot down, people don't expect that from you because you're young, right? We were young. People don't expect that from you, and then it gets into some other type of things where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that shouldn't have happened, but it happened, and we got to deal with it
yeah,
because
yeah,
it is
yeah,
what it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
for sure.
But
It's
crazy,
there's a
but
lot of steep learning curves in just in this
yes,
industry. It's not for
but
the
we're still
it's not
here,
for
right?
the faint-hearted. Definitely not. You
Yeah,
understand? You're gonna
Still
get your
here,
heart.
still strong.
Yeah, you're gonna get your heart broken. Yeah.
yeah,
She
for
gonna
sure.
she gonna break your heart. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna tell you a couple of things that you want to hear that ain't true.
Yeah,
But
That's what they want, though, right? That's what they want. You
yeah,
can't let them win. That's how it is.
just educate yourself,
You
man.
know?
Make sure you're educated. Make sure you got yourself protected.
for sure.
If you're a producer, make sure you're signed up to some PRO company like BMI, ASCAP. If you're in the UK, PRS. Cover yourself because
For sure.
once
CYA,
because once you're
cover your ass.
cover your ass, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you've done that, then you can go out there and you can start working with who you want, because whatever happens,
that's
you
right.
know you've got some kind of rights protecting you on the back end.
For sure.
That's
I mean,
right.
and some advice for like up and coming producers: don't get discouraged if this happens to you. Like
It happens
that's
to all
not
of
going to
us,
be the
man.
first or the
Yeah.
last time. And I think you
And
always
not-
have to remember why you became so passionate about this and why you love to do it
Yes.
so much.
Great
And I think
point,
that's
brother.
what will
Great point.
will bring you back to reality, right? In terms of your passion
Yeah.
and love for
And-
what you do.
And that's why I made Believe
Right.
Volume 1, 2, and 3.
Amen,
why-
brother. That's
and
a good
why
plug
I
right
made
there.
Believe 1, 2,
Nice,
and 3.
nice plug right
Yeah.
there.
That's great.
I ain't got media training, but I'm
Nice.
on your ass.
That's good. That's good.
But that's why.
Check it
man.
out, guys. Link in the description below.
Yeah.
Definitely, no, we will definitely for sure. Those mixtapes
No,
are
but
fire,
that's why I
man.
made them, because that reminds me why I do it.
Yeah,
Reminds me
Yeah.
why I do it. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't require me waiting for an artist to get back to me. It doesn't require
Yeah.
me waiting for a producer to get back to me. It's just me.
for sure.
And when you started off and you never had the equipment and you just had beat up piece of laptop and your headphone. You didn't even have
Oh
these. You
my
had
God.
the normal Walkman headphones in your ears, like from your phone. Yeah.
Oh man.
And the only
That
speaker
brings
that you
back
had that was
memories right
external
there.
was a speaker on the laptop. Yeah. And you was like, and you
Oh
had
man.
Fruity Loops that was a crap version. Yeah. And you had to control S every 5 minutes because it didn't auto save. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, man.
what you have to remember. Why did you? Because if you weren't really
Yeah.
into it, you wouldn't even take it from there.
For sure.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
that's a
man.
lot of stress, right?
Yeah.
How many? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of stress, man. So that's why I make them albums. It puts me back in my space.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story, man. Because like not a lot of people can
It
say
is,
that,
yep.
you know. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
great,
man. I've started off with a HP laptop that had no business running any software for music. I made my desk out of some plywood. So after a while, it just started bending because it couldn't take the weight. It just started bending.
Oh man, we could relate. We
Yeah.
could relate, man.
Yeah.
We've had our fair share of
I
desks like
had a
that,
mouse
man.
that had a short in the wire, so I had to wrap the wire around the mouse, and then
You know
roll
what's
it against
crazy,
my leg
bro?
to get it to move on the screen. Come on, man.
It's crazy because right, this generation, a lot of the kids from this generation are not gonna understand what that struggle is because you can buy a $300 laptop with a DAW with a audio interface, the bundle for $300, and you have a home little studio.
I'm gonna show
that
you how
can
I started. You lot
make
are gonna
beats in.
laugh
It's
your
crazy,
head off,
bro.
yeah? I
We didn't have that.
I know. I didn't even have that. I'm 81. Yeah. 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 When I started,
I don't even think duct tape was invented back then.
listen, we just about
had crack, though.
that tapes were for serious people. Let's not play. That tape, that was £8 a tape. Don't play with me. Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
started literally with a keyboard that I bought from like we call it Argos over here. So that's like a Walmart. That's like Walmart somewhere. You just if you want to buy something, you go in there, you buy it. I had a Casio keyboard.
Shout out Walmart.
Shout out Walmart. I want a sponsorship. We want sponsorship, Walmart. And then it was one of them ones where you press a button and it would just make a random sound. Like, and it's 50 different.
Okay.
So it didn't have no business being, and it had a MIDI input. I don't know why it did, but thank God it did. I had an Atari 1040 ST and it took a floppy disk.
Wow.
I'm gonna say that again. I had an Atari
Floppy
1040
disk.
ST. It had a floppy disk. Not the thing.
Link will be in the
below.
description
Link
below
below.
for purchase, guys.
If we can find it on the internet.
Insert image.
I'm sure they got it
Insert
in
the image
eBay.
in that clip, yeah. Trust me, it's worth knowing, yeah. And I had to
Wow.
plug it into the back of my TV, and it only showed, and it ran Cubase version 1 or 2.
The big back TV.
Yeah, 1 or 2. Yeah, and that was it. That was on the Apple, the first Apple Macs that would, the little tower Apple Macs where the screen was like a 7-inch.
Hey, those were high tech, buddy.
Listen,
All right.
it was grayscale.
Back in
It was
the day.
grayscale. There was no color. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the mouse would short, so I had to wrap it round, and that's how I made my first demo tape. That was back when I was like,
Hey, but did you make your beats? Did it work for
yeah, I
you?
got busy.
Amen, brother.
And then I had to
You're
I made
blessed.
my demo tape, and I had to bounce tape to tape.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Man.
come on. So I'd be there laying the chorus on the beat that I just made that I recorded onto a tape.
Don't mess up.
On a 90-minute TDK tape. Take
Don't
it,
mess
put
up.
it into B. Yeah, take it out of the B side, stick a new one in the A side. Now I've got my beat playing with my chorus, and then on the fresh one I press record on the playback. So now we're recording back across, and then I'm laying my backing or my rap. Then I'm taking that out, flipping the tape around because I can't buy a lot of tapes. I ain't got money like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that by that time
Yeah, man.
I've bounced it like 5 times, and then I've laid the track, the beat, the backing vocals, the chorus, and the hook. And then I did get on my Jeezy tip and start laying ad libs if I feel bright.
One take, baby.
Listen. And if the tape snapped,
You can't mess it up.
You had to unscrew the tape and put the pencil in the tape and reel it back. Listen,
Oh,
man, you lot don't understand. And now
We had it rough, but we didn't have it that rough.
Nah, you had it rough, man. I was back when Flintstones was kicking about. I was doing it, man. I was doing it. Now you,
Hey, we had what was that LimeWire where you could burn free beats on
Oh,
CDs? LimeWire, right?
when I saw that, I said, "You lot
Yeah.
are winning, man.
Yeah.
You lot are winning, bro."
With the CD player and the boombox
Yeah.
with the cassettes. That's how we used to
You
do
lot
it.
was
Yeah.
winning, bro. You understand?
Yo, check it, check.
And
I
like you
think
said,
we
now
used
you,
to
now,
record
now
on
you
a
can go
headphone
to
too, right?
now you can go to somewhere like Sweetwater and just go and buy
Yeah.
the whole bundle for like $300.
That's insane.
Exactly. For a discount, and you got a coupon
Oh,
online.
come on, man.
If
We're
there
going to
were,
get
Crazy, bro.
we're going to get something to eat at White Castle afterwards or something. I don't care. I don't care if it's a cheap burger joint. We're going there afterwards. I still got change. You understand? Like,
For real, man. It's
but
that's
that's
awesome.
it's
though.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
but this
But you know what though? That's your story. That's true to you.
That's my
That's
story,
something that
man.
no one can relate to. Only you in that sense, right? Just
Yeah.
like us and our struggles that we went through.
And
Yeah.
no, and
And
no
that's
one can
amazing.
take
That's a
that away
beautiful
from
thing.
you either, man.
Nah,
Like that's
nah,
you know.
yeah. I remember banging on that keyboard
Wow.
like I was having a seizure, man. Just bap, bap, bap. My mum was like, "What's going?" Bap, bap. The plastic keys getting battered because they had.
You don't
yeah.
hear that? You don't hear that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm about to go to. I'm gonna go to Def Jam right now. I'm like, no, you ain't going Def Jam.
I remember the first beat that I made that I thought had potential. Oh my god. I thought I was the
I'm
man.
gonna
I was
do
like,
that.
Yo, I made it.
I'm gonna do that.
Ah, check it out, bro.
I want to do a beat challenge. I'm gonna tag you guys in it. I want you to bring up the earliest beat that you have. That
Oh
you have
man,
right
I don't
now.
even know if do we even have those, bro.
No,
Yeah, I
think
might
we
have
lost
them
I
in
the
probably
hard
don't
drive.
have
files.
those ones, those early ones, because they're
wow.
still on tape. They're still on TDK
Wow.
tape.
We had an old dinosaur computer that was like, I don't even know, so old, so slow.
It had floppy
Every
disks
time
too.
you try to make a beat, yep, it was horrible, but we made it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got them, man. That's the love. That's where you have the passion. That's, I guess, also separates the people that are here to do it for
Yeah.
now against the people that are going to be here 10, 15, 20 years from then, like, still doing this. Like, regardless whether
Right, and
technology
it-
changes or not, I'm still be here banging on a pot
Yeah.
in the pan.
Right. And you know if you love it, right? You know if you love it, if no matter how hectic and crazy your life may be, but you always find time to make one beat.
Yeah.
And that one beat that you make is that one beat that you focus on, put all your energy in.
Yeah.
You know, you learn to make it from beginning to end, mix, master, and it's ready to go. But
Yeah.
that one beat you made that week, yo, that made you feel good
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
moment.
And it's
You felt that
therapeutic. I
peace,
definitely
you know what
believe
I mean?
it's therapeutic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, like when I first started making beats, I'd make quantity right over quality.
Oh.
And
yeah.
now it's you know it's changing. I make less beats, but it's more quality beats.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens when you get a little older, right? You start having more responsibilities, like you're saying, and you know you
Yeah.
find the time that you can to do it.
Your time becomes more valuable, right? Because
Exactly. Yeah.
you ain't got all day
Yes.
to sit there and just and make beats. So now you got to
Yes.
think, when I'm getting it in, I need to make the way I work more efficient.
Yep.
I need to make sure that
Yes.
the computer I got don't crash on me, so I have to start again. I got to make sure
Yeah.
that I know what sounds I'm gonna be playing with.
Yeah.
I got to know what style I like, and this is all.
Right.
You don't get these out of the box. It takes time. It's almost like the 10,000 hours
Yes.
thing, isn't it? It take within them
Yeah.
hours you spend, you should be learning these things about yourself. Not
You know what's what I also find beautiful too is like the process of you when you don't know what you're gonna make, right?
oh never.
You sit down, you sit there, and you're like, and all of a sudden you start playing around with sounds,
Yeah.
Ain't that
and you
something?
start getting a vibe, an idea, and you're like, I
man.
can see this, and that's just it's amazing how it just all comes around, you know.
I
like,
never
it
sit
comes
down with an
together.
idea in my head of what I want to make, because I it's always,
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have something I'm like, oh, I have that melody. Let me build around it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm in the shower like.
Well, we don't want to envision that, bro. Chill out, chill out.
You know? Nah, I just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
No,
I get it.
But it's crazy.
No, yeah,
For
I
sure, I
used
can
to do
relate.
that, and I found that when I worked like that, it kind of locked me into making that, and then and unless I was
Yeah.
making that idea, then I wasn't happy. So
Yeah.
I kind of had
Yeah.
to kind of free myself and just be like, okay, what feels good, what feels good.
Yeah.
So, and it works for me. But like I said, you have now, like you said, you got an idea. You can lock in a melody, and you can say, I'm gonna take. If I'm in the shower, I'm listening to something else in the shower with my little portable speaker where I've got this bad boy
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
everywhere with me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So anywhere I go, I've got music. Whether I'm on the beach in St. Lucia, it came with me. Whether I'm in the shower. So for me to have a headspace quiet enough in that sense to hear a melody, it has to be in my sleep. And I do that. And I've had that happen actually in my dreams. I hear beats that are not released. And I know that I have never heard that song before in my life. I had a dream like that the other night. So I know I've got some good music coming. my way.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's good.
it's in there. It's in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Basically, it's in there.
I want to transition to like another question. Like,
Go for it.
what beat genres do you work on the most? You would say.
Everything's kind of infused with R&B.
Okay.
Everything has an
Love
R&B infusion somewhere in there.
And that has to do with your favorite producer of all time, Quincy Jones. You mentioned in the last podcast,
Yeah,
right?
that has to come up. Listening to Quincy, listening to Miles Davis, listening, growing up to listen. I listen. Yeah,
Miles Davis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an '80s
Yeah.
baby again. So I grew up on. Well, I guess being an '80s baby don't mean I should really be a '70s baby then. But I grew up on the James Brown and Anita Baker and the Luther Vandross and all those guys. So
Yeah.
Right.
that's if any music's gonna be in my head when I'm not listening to music, it's gonna be them. It's
I
gonna be
definitely hear
their
that
melodies.
style in your beats, though, for sure.
It's very
Like, I
melodic.
definitely-
It's very everything's layered
Yeah.
melodically. It's not just even the loop packs that I sent you guys. You would hear even in the loops I sent
Yeah.
you. It's not as they say. You can play it over three notes, like three keys on your piano. You can't play my melodies with just one finger on three keys because they said that's. I saw that a couple of people saying that's the trick. If you can play a melody with one finger, you should be able to play it like a good melody. You should be able to play it over like I think there's like three keys that are relatively close to each other. That's what makes trap right now pop.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for me. I tried it, but it's like
Yeah,
like trying to.
that's crazy.
I don't know. It's like trying to hold my breath. It hurts.
Yeah, it's different for everybody,
Yeah.
though. I think it
Yeah, it
depends on
hurts.
the genre
I have
that
to
you're
get.
working
I
on.
have to get some chords in there. I have to get something lush. I have to get a pad. I have to get some strings. I have to get that
Yeah.
that vibe, which is what that's my influences. So it's always gonna have some kind of body to it, if I can say, if that's the right way to say it, in the melody structure in that sense.
Yeah, I think for me, I started a lot with hip hop, and gradually went to like R&B, and now I do more. I try to gravitate more to like EDM.
Yeah,
Beats now,
yeah. So some of
you know?
some of the stuff that you
Yeah.
guys sent over, I can definitely hear where it's clean, it's crisp, but the melody is like snapping. Like
Yeah.
I could eat like I can see the EDM influence at the same time.
A lot of my I guess for the making of the beats and stuff, I love piano, keys, smoothness.
Classical.
I love the voxes, the
Yeah.
voices. So I try to incorporate some of those voices, and then the drums too. Like one of my favorite music producers growing up was A-Rap Music.
Oh, his
So when he
drums
used
are
to
nuts.
bang on those drums and like the vocals and stuff.
the crazy
But I also
scream.
like to incorporate that
Yeah.
with some nice
The woman getting
smoothness,
stabbed in the film. That mad
Yeah.
scream effect.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where it comes from mine.
A-Rap, yeah,
keys and
his
stuff
drums
like
are
that.
crazy. I've seen him do a couple of when he was coming up NPC battles,
Yeah, man.
and
Yeah.
I was like,
One-handed.
how does he get them to? And his hands
Taking
it's a
phone
blur.
calls.
It's a blur. His hands are a blur.
Yeah.
But his drums, his sound selection is crazy. And that's I think for producers out there also know your sound selection, know what sounds work. Everybody might not have the same ear, but find the sounds that resonate with you and work with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I think that's great advice. I think you have to find your sound and also find what you can work with the best, what program, what like if there's an MPC, if you like MIDI keys, if you like the MIDI
There's
keys
so
with the
many
keypad
options.
on the side,
Yeah.
I love keys, man.
Yeah.
Keys and boxes, bro. That's my thing. And then adding the drums afterwards.
Yeah.
You know?
I love the strings. I'm a sucker for
feeling you,
strings. I'm a sucker for strings. I think that's just coming up in the soul era where, a lot of stuff had strings in it.
Yeah.
Or it had a lush sound to it. You know what I'm saying? So automatically I can hear that. Even if I don't use a string, I will start in that string and then I can switch it to a pad, for instance, or to a soft synth
Yeah.
or something like that,
Right.
I know you mentioned if
dope.
having the ear for it, like, and I know we mentioned this like talking outside the podcast, but I just wanted the listeners to hear this. When did you realize that you had an ear for music, that you could easily find the pitch or the tone, or, what age, how old were you when you realized that?
I've had little spots growing up I think last time we spoke, I was telling you guys I used to DJ when I was like 12, and then I used
Yeah.
to when I in
Yeah.
between cutting back and forth with the songs, I used to like with the crossfader instead of just going straight across to the next song or like flicking back and forth. I used to try and get it right in the middle and get the perfect blend of the two songs, and then I'd be like, I like
Nice.
that bit.
Yeah.
Not maybe not so
Yeah.
not so much for the vocal element, but I could still hear the drum pattern or the drums and the percussions mixing from the different songs. So that intrigued me.
Yeah.
That was one part, and I was like, how do you make that song? And then
Yeah.
secondly, it was just um, I used to sing a lot in my bedroom growing up. Just as to my favorite art, like I grew up like my R&B songs were like Jodeci and H Town and them guys, and I used to always think I was like the lost member of Jodeci, and they
That's funny.
they got me knocking
That's
my
when you
mic
see
and
the
shit,
hair
man.
in the
Nah, yeah.
mixtape. You see the hair, and I'm like, he's got that style, you know?
But then
Yeah.
I would find a harmony that was missing. Like even when I used
Yeah.
to listen to like
Yeah.
Jagged Edge and stuff, I again because there's the R&B style is very luscious and the strings and the plucks and, but then I used to always try and find where could the next harmony get in there, and then
Mm.
slowly I just kind of adapted that into making music, um, and then I think the
Yeah.
first beat I made that was what was it? I think it was like Miami Life or High Roller. They're on one of the volumes. High Roller I think is on this latest one. Is High Roller? No, it's volume 2. High Roller. Anyway, I've got a playlist on Spotify. Jump on Spotify. I got all the albums in one playlist, so it's just you can just
I
run
like
through them.
that. We'll
Just for
definitely put
ease
that
of
on.
listening and for myself as well, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and when I started making those kind of tracks, I was like, okay, yeah, you. I was trying to make what was current and what was
Hmm.
popular, and then I just said, I'm just gonna free myself and make this, and I made it, and I was like, wow, okay, yeah. Like there's like,
Yeah.
and I think at that time Rick Ross was just dropping. He must have just came out with hustling and everything, and he just started this
Yeah.
Maybach music, and it wasn't even as luxurious as it's classed to be now. But he was starting to get on that wave. I think he might have
Yeah.
just done a couple songs with the first Maybach music with Justice League, so it had Justice League always bring that expensive sound. Um,
Yeah.
and then I made like
Yeah.
Miami Life and High Roller, and then it was like, okay, right. If Justice League and them guys can do it, and you're a boy from England, and you ain't got what they got, then you've definitely got something in there for this. So
Right.
just kept
Sure.
pushing after that, man, and just yeah, and believing. Boom, plug.
Yeah.
Shameless, right?
Yeah. No, that's good, bro.
Shameless.
That's great, man.
I think for us it was like we were maybe what 6 years old, maybe. And I think in church
Yeah.
we'd always sing, and we started playing
That's a
saxophone and
beautiful
trumpet
place
when
to
we were
start, man.
little.
Church.
Yeah, man, and that's where we
Yeah.
got the ear for it. Our stepdad showed us drums as well,
Oh,
so we got it.
Yeah.
We got an ear for the rhythmic, sound.
yeah.
But I think it was always in us, man. Like as a little kid, like even in school, we'd like
Yeah.
we'd make beats on the desk, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever experienced that, but like if it was math class, I'd be making a beat on the desk, and I'd get kicked out of class just because I
Yeah.
always had that.
You're always banging on the desk. Banging.
Yeah.
You'd be banging on the desk like.
And I
Was it Pharrell's grinding? Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know, something, man. I
Yeah.
probably would have made it up or something,
Yeah.
I believe that the first instrument that we were introduced to might have been the drums and the bongos,
Oh, that's a nice.
Yeah.
We had
nice
little
instrument.
bongos.
Bongos is nice, man.
and we play.
You can get.
And then we got introduced to the trumpet. Myself and
Yeah.
my brother was the saxophone,
Yep.
and then our sister was the clarinet.
Like, you lot,
Clarinet,
So we got introduced to that,
you lot are like
and
all trained then.
it's amazing, bro. Yeah, it's amazing, man. Just the journey of it all, you know. I feel like church really gave us the foundation for music,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the love, the passion for it, and it just kind of evolved from there, you know.
most definitely, man. Church is a wonderful place to start. Like the churches that I've been to in England, they were like Roman Catholic churches. So everybody was like obviously standing there. Oh, it wasn't really.
Yeah.
I weren't
Right,
really
right.
a little bit of falsetto there, but yeah, I weren't really feeling the vibe in the Roman Catholic Church in England because it was just cold. It was, and then
Yeah.
one of my family members, a couple of my family members, they was like evangelical. That's the one, evangelical
Yes.
church, and they're catching
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
singing.
yeah.
They're singing from.
That's how we
they're
were
singing,
brought up.
Yeah, they're singing from the back of their
Exactly.
head, from the sole of their stomach, and I'm like, okay,
Yes.
yeah, this is now this is different. So yeah, it
Yeah.
opened up all my experiences through my musical journey, helped open up to where I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely say
That's
your
awesome,
your
man.
your story is a very true story. It's very heartfelt, like when you hear it, you know. And man, we appreciate you telling us this story, man, because
And
like
I appreciate you like having me here, man.
for sure, man, a lot of people don't go through things that you've gone through, you know, in your
Yeah.
musical journey. And I think everyone's musical journey is different, right?
Yeah,
But
it is. It is.
and it's unique, you know, and it's just nice to listen to the story because it makes me laugh. Like on sometimes we can relate, you know.
Yeah.
We've all had
Yeah.
those
And
days,
it's
man. We've all had them days. Trust
and
me.
it's crazy how it's like 80s to 90s, right? But you could still find a
The,
relatable
the
term or
common
something that
thread. Yeah,
happened that you're like, oh wow, I remember that, something similar to that, you know.
yeah,
And I feel like I hope this story and our stories, right? Because that's what we can do as music producers and as people that talk on a podcast, right?
right.
I hope that our stories resonate with the youth and they
Yeah.
find, this as inspiration, motivation to not give up, to keep pushing
Most
forward, to
definitely.
hopefully make it and get that placement that they're searching for
Most
so
definitely.
so badly. And
Yeah.
that's all you can really hope for is how to help the youth
And
in
inspire them.
the future
Yeah,
be better, inspire them
definitely,
exactly.
man. And
So
I think
that's great.
that's one of the reasons why I'm grateful for you guys even having me on. Is
For sure, man. No
all
problem.
jokes aside
Yeah,
about my music and believe and all that. My life journey. Maybe one day when I decide if anybody really wants to know in that sense, but I might be asked to share it if I happen to get to a place where people want to know. It hasn't
right.
been the easiest at all. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of setbacks and a lot of
Yeah.
the rug pulled from my feet, and a couple times I've been homeless,
Yep.
and a couple times I've had
Wow.
no money at all, and I shouldn't be where I am right now. Long story
Yeah.
short,
Right. Right.
I should either be crazy or in jail,
Wow.
or
Right.
maybe dead. And that's another one as well. That's another story. But
Right.
the fact of the matter is, for all those times that I could have went left and got it wrong, I decided to go right. It may have been a longer way round and a harder route round, but ultimately I knew
Right.
that I stayed true to my path. So when I came back, I was back better than I was than I left than when I left. I've always
Yeah.
managed to come
Well,
back one step up than where I just left where I came from.
right. And
So
I believe I believe that's the grace of God and the
yeah,
choices that you
Yeah.
made.
definitely.
You have a choice to make, right?
Hmm.
Am I going to do this or do that? And you made the right choices in your life that gets you to the point to where you are right now.
Yeah,
And it only molds you to be a better person. So
right, right.
because of all those experiences, you are who you are today, and that's a blessing, man.
Yeah,
For
That's
and
something
sure.
to count as a blessing for
and
sure.
and if I can be of a help or of like I say, to a certain degree of service to people, to the genuine people that genuinely want help and want to do something, then I'm all here. But obviously in this world we
Amen.
live in,
That's awesome.
we have to keep the grass cut to a certain level, like you guys say,
For
so we
sure.
can
For
see
sure.
what goes
Yes.
around in the grass, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but with my music that I make, with the people that I network with the people that I do vlogs with, like you guys, I pray that somebody else hears my music and it inspires them to feel something different from something they don't want to feel, or they see me
Yeah.
doing it and they want to think, oh, I can do that too, because we all got a God-given gift. None of
Yeah.
us is out here without no talent.
Right.
We've all got a gift. We just got to tune into what our gift
Right.
is.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I think we mentioned that also in like a couple other, like I think the third podcast we were talking about, that everybody has a gift like you mentioned, and we all need to use our gift, right, to inspire others. And
Yeah, that's why we're here.
right, yeah, exactly, man. And I think when you find your purpose, right, in life, you know, with the talent that you're given from the Almighty God, I mean, that's
Yeah,
when you're really genuinely happy, right, with yourself and with your
Yeah.
purpose, man.
and the
But
closer you get to that gift, the harder it's going to
for
become for
sure,
you to achieve that gift, because
Yeah.
the negative energy out in the world, whatever you want to call it, yeah, doesn't want
yeah,
you to be the best version of who you
Just
are.
it's trying to dim your light,
You're trying to
and you
keep
yeah,
gotta
you
and you gotta shine bright,
in that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's the quote from Coach Carter. I can't remember all of it, but I was saying it to my wife the other day, and there's a part of it that I really like. I can't remember the lady's second name, but her first name's Marion. I'm gonna have to find that, and maybe I don't know, we can do something with it. But part of the
Yeah.
quote is the poem is there's nothing that comes from shrinking yourself. You understand? So everybody's meant to shine bright. There's nothing
yeah,
gained by
Yes.
you making yourself small for everybody else in the world. You
Right.
understand? So our job
yeah,
is to shine bright. so that we
Right.
can illuminate everybody else, so everybody else can see us shining bright, see us doing it, and then know that they can do it too, and we light this whole bitch up. You
For
understand?
sure, man.
Exactly.
And just
For
to again put the plug in, guys, listen to these mixtapes because these beats are shining bright for sure, man.
Thank
And you
you,
guys
man.
really
Yeah,
gotta
for
listen
sure.
to them, man. They're
I'm-
very inspirational, man. For sure.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Like I
Yeah.
said, they're streaming on all platforms. There'll be links in the below. My brothers will hook me up. I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
do another one in the next couple of months because I've just got the feeling for another one. So
Nice.
Keep it going, man. Keep
I'm just
pushing.
gonna do another
Yeah.
one. But I also don't want to burn myself out at the same time.
Yeah.
Creative juices. You have to keep it balanced, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
There you go.
number 1, 2, and 3 is streaming on all platforms. There'll be links in below. Thank you, brothers, for having me. I
Yeah.
know last time I messed
For
it up.
sure.
Um,
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
Don't
no
worry
worries,
about
man.
that.
It's okay.
We're still gonna use that footage because I think the conversation
we
was
are.
perfect. So
that's all.
It was
good,
a
man.
great conversation, man. You know,
I know the
and I'm
conversation
glad that
was
you were
wicked. The
able to get onto
conversation was
this one
wicked,
as
man.
well.
Next time we should try and get some people involved in here. Maybe we can get some people in a room with us.
Yeah.
And if anybody's
Yeah.
got any questions, or because with the free minds that we have spanning the 2 different decades in that sense, and the different musics that we both cover as a collective, I definitely think there's ways that we could help impart some of our knowledge and our experiences and dare I say wisdom
yeah,
onto
Right.
other people that need it.
for sure.
I agree, for sure. That's
Fela,
awesome,
if you
man.
have any more questions, I think that's all I had from my part. I don't know if you had any other questions.
No, I like that you came prepared with the questions like you always do.
He's
This
done.
guy is always well prepared with questions.
calling Clark
But I
Kent.
love to. My
Thanks,
thing is,
man.
I love to flow with the conversation, give
Yeah.
my input, certain things I could input into the conversation, just kind of sit back and observe everything. Because to me, this is very enjoyable, just having a conversation with producers that, you know, share the same values as us and the same foundations and the same passion, the
Yeah.
love, and the same motivation that we do.
Amen,
you know?
brother.
For
And
sure.
we only try to push that forward to the youth, like I said once before. So this has been a great conversation, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
being
thank
on the
you.
show. This will not be the last time or the first time. You will be on it plenty more times.
Don't worry.
And look
We're
forward
gonna
to
get
that,
some.
man.
We can get some topics and we're gonna chop it up.
For
I don't know
sure.
if they're
Definitely.
tired of hearing about me.
Well, I mean, maybe on the next one we could talk more about like life experience and stuff like that. But we
Yeah,
could
man.
chop it up later
We can
and
chop it
kind
up,
of
man.
figure out what we're
Right,
doing.
right. For sure.
But yeah,
Don't
I
worry.
think that's it, guys. Definitely check out the mixtapes volume 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna put it on the description for you guys. Thank you guys for watching and stay blessed, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching another Studio Lounge episode with 81 Born and Bred.
Thank you,
We're
people.
going to be putting the links in the description below. And as always, sit back and enjoy the show. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
81, drop that.